Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakadash. So all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. And by Hashem meaning in the name of Yahushai being in the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect preaching his word and truth and sincerity on the brother Tazabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will with another video to edify. I wanted to make an article or a lesson on this article because Esau is getting ready to set up his new godhead, right? Now it says Lil Bill at the gate says humanity must embrace one world religion to continue evolution, right? The globalist billionaire has declared his support of humanity embracing a one world religion in the era of artificial intelligence to continue the evolution of humanity. According to, the small soft owner, right? It is time to ditch the major monotheistic religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, in favor of one world religion, which incorporate elements of each. You can almost call it a new religion or a new philosophy, said Lil Bill. It says, how do we stay connected with each other, and not addicted to the things AI that will make video games look like nothing in terms of the attractiveness of spending time on them. All right, I want to hear from this devil, right?
The potential positive path is so good that it will force us to rethink how should we use our time. You can almost call it a new religion or a new philosophy of, okay, how do we stay connected with each other, not addicted to these things that will make video games look like nothing in terms of the attractiveness of spending time on them. So it's fascinating that the issues of, disease and enough food, of climate, if things go well, those will largely become solved problems. And, so the next generation does get to say, okay, given that some things that were massively in shortage are now not, how do we take advantage of that? Do we ban AI being used in certain endeavors so that humans get some, like you don't want robots playing baseball probably,
Sure.
Because they'll be too good. So we'll keep them off the field. Okay, how broadly would you go with that? We are so used to this shortage world.
See, and in the name of shortages, this is how they want to push it. But remember, the only way to drive down so-called shortages, and there's nothing wrong, there's no shortage of goods in the earth. There's an issue with those who have the ownership of the resources, right? It says a leading figure included Cotton Swab and Pope Francis are also on record demanding humanity embrace a new unifying religious creed in the name of progress, right? And this is not something that the Lord set up. These devils know that what happened when that happened in the past, right? This is forget this, man. This is Genesis 11. And 4. It says, then said he go. It says, and they said, go and let us build a city. I got to start at verse 1. It says, and the whole earth was one language and one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. that they, it says, and they had brick for stone and slime had they for mortar. Then it says, and they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto the heaven, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Right? And just like now, what are they trying to do? They're trying to use technology to submit power. This is what this is. This whole technology, one world, sitting there telling you you have to be identified within the system, right? Digital IDing, having access according to them. That's all them trying to, right? All them trying to submit a power on earth that no man can seep out of and do his own thing on. Because with cash, you can do that. With a system that allows you to have physical money, you can do that. You can go out, do your own thing, hustle, do whatever you want, maybe commit some crimes. I don't condone it, and make some bread, right? Outside of the system. But when you're telling people that you can't buy or sell without this thing, when you're telling them that everything is going to be had on this and nobody will be able to get more than the next person, right? Universal basic income. There's no weaseling out of that system. It's ironclad. It says, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. It says, and the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And right now, we're the ones that seeing the city and the tower through the eyes of the Lord. Because what we go through the prophecies and we see that these things are connecting, right? And we're going to get into that. This system, this is what they're setting up. This is their new religion, because you're going to have to bow, right, to the image of the beast. You're going to have to abase yourself as though this was a god. It says, and the Lord came down to, verse 6. It says, I'll finish verse 5. It says, which the children of man builded, and Yahweh said, behold, the people is one. It says, and they have one language, and they have all one language, and this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down and there confound their languages, that they may not understand one another's speech. So Yahweh scattered them abroad upon the face from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city, right? So this is just that new digital Tower of Babel. This is that new statue. Let's get that in Daniel's the 3rd chapter. This is that new statue, just the digital form of it, for them to bring this whole Edomite power structure and Godhead into fruition. It says, Daniel 3:1, it says, Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was three score cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits, right? 6, the breadth was 6. It says, and he set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. And Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together his the princes and the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province, to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province were gathered together unto the dedication of the image of that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, harp, sackbut, plastery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whosoever falleth not down and worship and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Right? So this is that new system. This is that new image. This is that new religion that you have to bow down and abase yourself to. This idol. And this AI is nothing more than Esau on a database. It's this Edomite mindset on a database. That's all it is. That's all it is. You even got you even got these AI robots deliberately making lies like Edomites would, right? Literally making lies like Edomites would, where they tell you partial of the truth and then act like, well, you know, I technically didn't lie type shit. That's Esau's thing, semantics. So this is that one world religion that they try to get everybody to bow on, and really the true, show to it. Like the scriptures talk about the mark upon the believers, going back to Ezekiel 9 chapter, the mark of exemption, and then the mark going into, the prophecies, right? In Revelation, the 16th chapter. Well, this is that new mark for your allegiance to that system, man. This is Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark or charagma in their right hand or their foreheads, right? And when you go into that word, which I ain't got to go into it, I've gone into it plenty of videos other brothers have. You look up that word in the Greek for mark, it's the word charagma. And then you got to look into the two root words. And really, when you go into those words, you see that, okay, well, this is the implantable C-hip. Right? It goes into the blockchain technology, the perfect record of all things done. That's one of the root words for charagma is grapho, and that goes into that. Then you go right into the word charax, right, which is another root word for charagma, which it goes into delivery method, the palisade, or the hypodermic needle, right, the huge ass gauge needle that they use to put that C-hip in you, and whether or not you get it in your forehead and hand, you're done. It says that no man bite by herself, save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So that's that allegiance, that bow down to that system, because these devils are going to set it up to where you're not going to be able to get provision in. They know once they start pushing this, and this is why he's talking about, the things of shortages will no longer be an issue, because in this plan, it's how they're going to cut off many. And a lot of people are going to buck up, and they already have military and everything ready to go once that day comes. So they know, they've planned for these things. They've run the simulations, and they got the nigga that owns the software to run the simulations talking about it. Remember, he ran a simulation for CVID before it even happened. So these devils always plot, plan, and prepare to cast the people down. But this is where we at. This is what it's moving towards. And they're boldly making these statements now. They're getting ready to roll a new one world religion. And they've always tried to do this. The heathen have always tried to set this up, because they know that once, and this happened over and over again, where the Lord basically said enough is enough, and Jake got back in the rulership. And it's not going to be anything different in this time, where the Lord is going to say enough is enough, and he's going to set us back in a rulership under Yahweh Shai. And this next time is going to be the last time. This is First Maccabee 1:41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, that one world religion, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. And that's what you read here. He said it right there. It says you can almost call it a new religion or new philosophy. How do we stay connected with each other and not addicted to the things that will make video games look like nothing in terms of the attractiveness of spending time? Right? It says, so it's fascinating that the issue of disease, food, and climate, if these things go well, those will largely become solved, predicted. It says so the next generation doesn't get to say, given that some things that were massively in shortage are now not. How do we take advantage of this? It says one world religion leading figures. Let me see if there's more here. It says now here it is. It says now Pope Francis. I'm gonna start right here. 2017, Pope Francis called for a one world government and political authority, arguing that the creation of a one world government is needed to combat issues such as climate change. I'll jump down in this. Right, Christians around the world should visit mosque and praise. It says First Francis shocked the Christian world by hosting Islamic prayers in the Quran recitals in the Vatican. Christians around the world should visit mosque and praise Allah, according to Pope Francis, who led by example of his visit to Istanbul by entering the Blue Mosque, taking off his shoes, facing Mecca, and praising the Muslim God. And that's not what the Lord commanded. They're doing their own thing. So they're all coming together in one way and going away from their own laws and agreeing upon one. It says, verse 43, it says, many also the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and the festival. And under this world religion, you think preaching the word of the Lord on the highways and byways isn't going to be something? Nah, they're going to cut off that sacrifice. It says, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice wine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. And what did he talk about? He talked about the next generations, right? That devil talked about the next generations. Where is it at? It says, here it is. I think it's right here. It says, so the next generation does not get to say. So he's thinking down the line, leaving the children unclean, giving them abominable practice. This is to the end that they may forget the law and change all their ordinances. And this is their step forward in it. And they're doing it all with the guise of AI, right? Embracing the future. They're acting like they're gonna help the people. That's not scriptural. They're not gonna help anybody, man. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. And it says, started 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, talking about 70 AD, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. The man of sin is a so-called Edomite, right? You see what my note's saying is. Yeah, that's good. All right, it says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High. And this is an opposition and an exaltation above what the Lord put in this earth, right? He even said that they need to get rid of the monotheistic religions, right? Time to ditch the monotheistic religions, right? That's him imposing, exalting himself. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and the son of perdition be revealed. Verse 3, verse 4. The son of perdition, it says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is a God, and he's really trying to put himself as the Most High. This is but this devil is going to learn his like the scriptures say, that they may know that they are but men. This is Ezekiel 28:9. It says, wilt thou say before him that slayed thee, I am a God? But thou shalt be a man and no God in the hand of him that slayed thee. So it says, thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised, meaning without mercy, by the hand of strangers. For I have spoken and said Yahweh. So the Lord, as a judgment, has a thing prepared for you devils and for your plans, man. But Lord willing, this is edifying. Brothers got something out of this, man. Shalom.